Welcome everyone to the third annual Acronis CyberFit Summit. It's so wonderful to be able to do, isn't it wonderful to kind of be here in person? I'm your host for today, and if you don't know who I am, I'm a speaker and author based and born here in Singapore. So we have so much in store for you, and I want to welcome all of the live in-person attendees, as well as the hundreds of you watching on the internet for joining us virtually for the Acronis CyberFit Summit 2022. So this is the Singapore edition, but we have had similar events in the USA, Switzerland, the United Arab Emirates, and Japan. For those of you on site, please, of course, observe the health regulations to protect you. This includes wearing your mask, being socially distanced, and of course, sanitizing your hands regularly. I want to make sure also that all of our attendees, whether you're in person or online, are aware that the Virtual Sales and Technical Training Academy by Acronis takes place tomorrow. So what the data shows is those partners who have their people trained and certified sell twice as much as their competitors. So it's well worth the investment of your time. We have so much to cover today, so let's get started.
The digital world is full of challenges. So far this year, phishing emails increased 62%. 94% of malware was delivered by email. 4 out of 5 organizations experienced a cybersecurity breach that started in their supply chain. The average cost of those breaches is now $3.56 million. Keeping clients protected requires a holistic approach that covers people, training clients and their end users to not open the door to attacks, and stopping unhappy employees from doing damage. Processes, finding vulnerabilities before breaches occur, patching systems before they're exploited, and automating tasks so you can focus on more value-add efforts. Technology, stopping threats quickly with cutting-edge machine intelligence and behavioral heuristics. Deploying cybersecurity that's a recognized leader. With best-of-breed data protection built in. Integrating those capabilities delivers unique benefits. Backups are protected against cyber attacks. Patches become fail-safe. Recovery is automatic following an incident. Management is streamlined in one console. A cyber protection strategy lowers your risks and improves your opportunities for more profit. Acronis is committed to connecting you with strategies, solutions, and support to grow your business. Acronis CyberFit Summit World Tour 2021. Lead the way with cyber protection. Acronis.com.
It is now my great pleasure to invite to the stage the first of our keynote speakers. It's Acronis CEO Patrick Pulvermüller. Welcome to the stage, Patrick.
Thank you, Simone. Wow, it's so great to be finally back in Singapore. I've been here many, many times in the last years, very often for the Formula One race, to be frank. But even outside of the race, I very much always enjoyed Singapore, and I very much always enjoyed being here in the Acronis office as a happy customer. Today, I'm not here as a customer, I'm here as the CEO, and I'm very proud and honored to be the CEO of Acronis nowadays. I would like to tell you a bit about myself. I've been in the service provider industry for more than 20 years. 20 years ago, I frankly did not have to worry about cyber threats or cyber attacks. But I still had to protect my customers' data, applications and systems from hardware failures or other things which could go wrong. But thanks to Acronis, I always had that one image, that one copy of the data readily available just in case. And I'm very, very proud to stand here today and to tell you that during my 20 plus years as a service provider, I never, ever, ever lost one bit of my customers' data. But the world obviously has changed a lot in the last 20 years. And just in the last 2 years, we have seen an increase in cyber threats by more than 300%. But two things have not changed. My passion to serve you, all the service providers here in the room and online in the best way possible, and Acronis' vision to protect all data, all applications, and all systems from any threats out there, including today's cyber threats. And I promise you, I will continue on that journey, and I'll listen to you, the service providers, to find out what you need to be successful to protect your end customers. And this is what I call the cyber protection with the power of you, our service providers. During the day, you will hear a lot about the current threats and what we've achieved over the last 12 months. And I'm also going to share with you in some minutes later my strategy for Acronis for the next 3 to 5 years to come. But first, let me hand over to Kevin Reed, our Chief Information Security Officer based here in Singapore. Kevin, I'm so happy to have you on stage. Over to you.
Thank you, Patrick. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Singapore CyberFit Summit. People ask me, with those threats and vulnerabilities and attacks and APTs and all that stuff, how do you cybersecurity professionals sleep at night? And I tell them, I sleep like a baby, meaning I wake up every 2 hours screaming in horror. Well, no, I'm joking. I slept well today. But there are a lot of reasons for cybersecurity professionals to be concerned. Just in December, as we were all preparing for holidays, a vulnerability in a single Java library affected thousands of applications. How do you even know if you have one of those applications in your organization? And then in January, almost outshouted by Log4j vulnerability, Microsoft Patch Tuesday went almost unnoticed. Yet, on that day, 29 remote code execution vulnerabilities have been removed. 29. Of course, there was Exchange, but also there was a vulnerability in core Windows TCP IP stack, meaning that if you have a Windows server exposed over to the internet with no services running on it, you still might be exposed. Overall, there was more than 25,000 vulnerabilities reported in 2021. And that's a big number. And we know that attackers leverage those vulnerabilities. And believe it or not, MSPs are one of the most targeted organizations in the world. And unfortunately, it's sometimes just a collateral damage. The attackers are really after your customers sometimes, but MSP could be hacked. We all know the story of Cassia, right? But also other MSPs have been attacked. Apologies. CompuCom was one of the examples in 2021. Now, many people say, well, that does not apply to me at all. There's a Windows problem, and my servers run Linux, and I'm using my shiny new Apple MacBook, and operating system is going to protect me. It is partially true, but in 2020, Apple sold 17% more MacBooks, while threats grew by more than 1,000%. This trend continued in 2021, and in September 2021 alone, we've seen 27% of growth of threats for macOS and 31% for Linux. Now, how does Acronis help our customers to protect themselves? In January 2022, last month, we've blocked more than 5.5 million malicious URLs. And we know that phishing, as it was said, is one of the most common initial compromise vectors. Our customers protect workloads and do backups, and we protect those workloads. And we've seen that for our backups, 37%, almost 2 out of 5 workloads have a malware in that. Think about it. If you have 5 servers, there is a chance that 2 of them may have malware. Backup is king when it comes to ransomware protection. And in December, our customers made more than 90 million backups. Now, we're going to talk more about threats today and about ransomware in particular. But for now, I'd like to pass the word over to Yuri Avakiev, Acronis VP of Product Management, who will tell you more about how we do that. Over to you, Yuri.
Yeah. Thank you, Kevin. And good morning, dear partners and our guests. And thank you for joining us in person here in this event and for our virtual platform. At Acronis, we have a vision. We have a vision of, actually, next slide, sorry. At Acronis, we have a vision of offering one-stop cyber protection to our partners, which allows you to efficiently manage, protect, and offer the fastest recovery to productivity of your end customer environments. And this vision is manifested through Acronis Cyber Protect, an all-in-one cyber protection product, which allows you to deliver cyber protection to your end customers. And this vision is manifested through single agent. This vision is manifested through a single management console, which allows you to manage all the aspects of cyber protection in the same place. It is manifested through a single protection plan that allows you to configure all those protection settings, again, in one place. And all those protection settings were delivered on workloads, were enforced on workloads through a single, lightweight, after-upgradable agent. And at the end of the day, you have one bill to pay to a single vendor. Last year, we made a significant change to our product portfolio, as well as to the packaging and to the licensing. We introduced a single product, Acronis Cyber Protect Cloud. At the same time, we moved from editions as part of our licensing to advanced packs. And advanced packs were absolutely wonderful because they allow you to adjust the level of protection of your end customer environments based on your particular customer need, based on particular workload need. And today we have several advanced packs available. Advanced backup, advanced disaster recovery, advanced security, advanced management, advanced email security, and advanced file sync and share. And actually, during my next presentation, I will talk about additional advanced packs. For Acronis, it's very important to provide protection of workloads that are relevant to you. Workloads that are relevant to you and to your end customers. And a couple of examples. In December last year, we released support for MySQL. We released support for MySQL and MariaDB. And it allows you to effectively create a backup of a workload, and when that is needed, you can restore a server, you can restore single or multiple databases, you can restore single or multiple tables. We also introduced integration with VMware Cloud Director. This integration was done with you in mind, because it takes advantage of all Cyber Protect monitoring, reporting, and billing capabilities. And for example, you can enforce granular permissions and allow end users to recover, to do self-service recovery scenarios. New licensing for Microsoft 365. It allows Acronis to adjust our licensing and to make it very easy to consume and to be aligned with Microsoft 365 seat licensing. So with this licensing, Acronis hosted storage is included. So unlimited Acronis hosted storage is included. And there are items for which you're going to pay, like you will be charged for Microsoft 365 seat if it is protected with a backup. And at the same time, you will not be charged for Microsoft 365 seat if it is equipment, room, or shared mailbox. Last year, we released advanced email security. And basically, for those of you who already protect backup, you protect your mailboxes with a backup, we allow you to add additional level of protection. And with advanced mail security, you can protect mailboxes against phishing, spam, business email compromise, and zero-day attacks. And it's very easy to enable advanced email security. You just go into customer tenant in the management console, and then enable advanced email security. And that's it, basically. Your mailbox is protected. With disaster recovery allows you to offer to your end customers near zero-day recovery in case of a disaster. But at the same time, once infrastructure is recovered, it's extremely important just as quickly to move disaster recovery workload back to the primary workload, back to the primary infrastructure. And that's what we delivered with automated downtime, zero downtime fallback. It is a zero-time experience, wizard-like experience, which makes it extremely seamless to migrate workload back to the primary infrastructure. And in case if your customers do have L2 VPN or L3 VPN, we make it extremely easy to configure network settings for those customers. So your customers can be sure that in case of the disaster, no matter how complex your network infrastructure is, they will be connected. They will stay connected. For you, delivering cyber protection is an invisible fight. You do your daily job, you maintain workloads, you do backup, you discover vulnerabilities, you deploy patches, you install anti-malware protection from Acronis or maybe other vendor. And everything is working correctly. Customer environments operate very smoothly. And the reason is happening because you guys are doing your daily job. You are protecting your environments of your end customers. But at the same time, your customers, they might think that nothing is happening because, well, nothing is happening, everything is good. And with executive reports, you will be able to show value to the end customers. You will be able to reduce the churn. You will be able to grow your customers. So basically, with executive report, you can send it on a monthly basis. And it will include information about cyber protection, like number of backups, number of vulnerabilities, number of patches deployed, number of backups taken. And again, can be done in an automated way, or you can send it through PDF yourself. And we understand that you guys, you work in a very competitive environment, and efficiency of your technicians is a top priority for you. That's why we are constantly thinking what we can do to increase the number of workloads a single technician can manage. And just a couple of examples. Last year, we introduced Acronis agent after update, because you told us it takes too much time to update an agent manually. So now, with this capability, with just a single click, you can enable agent after update, and you stay in the control at what time of the day after update is happening. You also told us that in Cyber Protection Console, it takes too much time, too many clicks to switch between customer tenants. So what you see on a screenshot, we implemented this combo box, which allows you, with a couple of clicks, to switch between customer tenants in the console. But in reality, it's just a first step, because next step this year will be full partner-level management capabilities, and I will talk about those during the roadmap presentation. It's very important to protect your end customer workloads, but at the same time, it's very important for Acronis to protect our own environment. And I want to give a couple of examples. Immutable storage is actually something you guys have been requesting as well. So now, when a technician, for example, deletes a backup by mistake or through malicious intent, backup is not getting deleted immediately. It's just getting marked as deleted. And later on, if a technician changes his mind and wants to recover the backup, he will be able to do it through Cyber Protection Console. Another self-protection capability is password protection of Acronis agent deinstallation. Because you might be dealing with the users which are just curious, and or maybe they do have a malicious intent, and they decide to uninstall a critical part of cyber protection software installed on their computers. But we want you to be in the control when Acronis agent is installed. So with this capability, you can assign different password to a different workload, or you can use the same password across multiple workloads. And unless you know the password, it will not be possible to uninstall the agent. In the past 12 months, we released a lot of new integrations. We started previous year with just a few integrations, like Autotask PSA and Connect Device Manage. And if you look at the list now, it has grown by so many new integrations. We introduced new ones, and we keep updating existing integrations as well. And today I can proudly say that we support top 5 PSA integrations, we support top 5 RMM vendors, and we support integrations with leading cloud marketplace platforms. In addition, we provide support for the vendors which cover and address specific market needs. Like, for example, today's Platinum-sponsored Jamf, now, which offers management of Apple devices. Now, Acronis integrates with Jamf, and it's very easy to enable cyber protection through Jamf Management Console. And at the end of my presentation, just a short video about advanced email security and executive reports. Right, thank you. Back to you, Patrick.
Thank you, Yuri. Thank you so much. So let's talk strategy. But before, I would like to share one thing with you, which I realized just when I listened to Kevin earlier today. When we started this world tour in Miami, we shared with you the amount of URLs protected. And let me just explain to you what this means. These are URLs which went through the spam filter, which went through all the other filters, antivirus and anything else on the device, but then we're still at the end of all of this journey blocked by us. We started in September with a message of 2.9 million URLs. Today, we are at already 5.8 million. This truly shows you the amount of acceleration in cyber threats out there. The threats are continuously increasing. And why they're increasing? Because it's an easy way to reap a lot of benefit without actually being found. And yesterday night, I was at the dinner with some people, and they told me a story of a scam who was calling them on the phone and was always asking them to transfer the money. They wanted to pick up the money, but they said, no, transfer the money to me, transfer the money to me. So they realized something is off, and they called the police. And next time they answered the phone, the police was on the phone. And the police said, stop it, or we'll find you. And guess what the other person said? You will never find me. Try it. That's the world we are living in, which is scary, very scary. On the other hand, it tells me why we are so successful as we are and why the services like the services we are offering are so desperately needed to protect everyone. So let's talk about the future of Acronis. Let's talk about the strategy. As part of every strategy, you have to set certain constraints so that you know what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. And at the core of what we're doing are the service providers and are the small and medium and enterprise businesses which you, the service provider, are serving. This SMBs, especially today, are under a tremendous pressure to further digitize their own value chain. Why are they? The pandemic has been one driver, but the overall global competition has been another driver of the last 10 plus years. As such, many companies, tech-savvy companies, not so tech-savvy companies, started to digitize certain parts of their processes. But they didn't know how to do it properly, and they didn't know how to protect themselves, and as such, they're open for attacks. On the other hand, when you think about these companies with hundreds or even thousands of employees around the world, they have the issue that they can't retain the right talent to protect them against all these different angles of attack, because they're just too small to be excited for all the subject matter experts. And in addition to this, what you're experiencing nowadays is a constant increase in complexity from the cyber threat side. When I go to the darknet, and I personally have never gone there, but pretty sure I know some people in my company who do this on a daily basis to watch. When you go in the darknet, I heard from them that for under $10, you can get a script to hack another PC. That's how cheap it is. Just imagine it. And the worst part, it's very easy to use. So it's not like the $10 is a barrier, but it's $10 cheap plus easy to use for almost everyone. So this just creates an enormous amount of complexity. And this is exactly the reason. So more digitization, no access to talent, and an increased complexity in threats, while all these small and medium enterprise businesses are reaching out to you, the service providers, and ask for help. And we are here to help you to protect all of these customers around the world. And we do this in a very, very unique way because of the way we've built the company over the last 20 years and how we always have appreciated the locality. One of our core pillars is our localization. Our solution, our services are natively available in 26 different languages. And this is important for a very simple reason. When you configure the system, when you are a daily administrator, when you're a more junior person, you feel more comfortable in your native language. This is just a fact. So we appreciate that fact and we give them the ability to use it in their own language. When you speak to your customers, and you're, for example, in Germany, where I come from, and the report is in German, and you send that executive report the team was talking about back to the customer in German, it just feels more natural. It feels like you know what they need because it's in the local part. And therefore, localization is a core part of what we're doing. And I'll talk about our infrastructure in a minute. Second, we offer you, the service provider, an outstanding TCO in comparison to all the best of breed solutions out there. And we know our suite of solutions is as good or better than any best of breed solution out there when you combine them into one. By offering you everything in one, we can provide you a tremendous TCO advantage of more than 55, almost 60%. How are we doing this? Your team, your system administrators, everyone has only to learn the application the system's won. They only have to install one agent on the devices and they can turn any features on and off whenever they want to. So they have full flexibility for one user interface, again, in a local language. And finally, we obviously tailor it to you. Yuri talked about our product set with all the flexibility where we can really offer you, the service provider, the ability to turn features on and off in the way you need it to be perfectly set up to protect your end customer in the best way possible. So best-in-class localization, highest TCO. These are the two things I really would like you to remember when you go home tonight. But there's more. We have to walk the talk. And when we say we want to be local, when we say we are appreciating the local needs, we also have to show this in where we actually host our data. And as such, we've invested significantly over the last years, and especially the last year, in building out our data center footprint. Today, we are in 41 different locations. 14 locations were added in the last 12 months, and right now we are at a pace of adding 1 to 2 locations every single month. And why we are doing it? Because we want to be as close to your end customers, dear service providers, as possible. So that you can really, when you speak to your customers, not only is everything in your local language, but besides being in your local language, the data also resides within your country, within your region. I show here the global map, but let's go one level deeper. And as you can see here, especially in the Asia-Pacific region, we have significantly invested in our footprint, and we are continuing to invest. But it is a global approach what we're doing here. But not only are we investing in the locations, we are also significantly investing in our cyber network. Why are we doing this? Because we have a very specific use case where we need to truly appreciate the performance for your end customers. If customers rely on us to protect them, we must be laser sharp, we must be very, very quick and be able to really serve you in all the ways necessary. And as such, we have set ourselves the goal to be at every end customer's point in under 25 milliseconds by 2025, no matter where your customer might be around the world. That is about, in today's technology, a radius of about 500 miles. Now you can take the world and you can map this out. This will be hundreds of different locations where we want to be to truly provide that level of service. And through that service, we will be able to truly appreciate the hybrid working space we are living in today and where we believe we are going to live in the future as well. So it does not matter if it is an office like this, which we have to protect. It does not matter if it is a huge data center, a small home office, or your laptop at a very nice beach resort where you work from with your company. We can protect all of them, and today we are already protecting all of these different layouts, from thousands of desks in one place to hundreds of thousands of virtual machines or servers in another place, to that one laptop at the beach or in the mountains. And we're doing this through our private network, which we're building out right now. We have been starting that initiative in October last year in the US, and we are now rolling out to the Asia-Pacific region as well. The next region will be Europe. So this is how we are going to spread around the world to make sure that we truly appreciate that value. But there's much, much more. Besides investing in our infrastructure, besides investing in our product, we are clearly also investing in you. And we do this through 3 different tools. On the one hand, we have our partner portal. And this is a portal we revamped last year, and a portal where we offer you, the service providers, all the different marketing collaterals, sales collaterals, additional material which really helps you to be successful. Second, we have our partner program and support, which is here for you to help you. And we invested significantly in the last 12 months. And when I spoke to partners, they very much appreciate what we do. And we see this in our NPS, Net Promoter Score, how it's continuously increasing. And we, for example, almost halved our response time and tripled our first time resolution rate. So when you call us, when you reach out to us, 3x higher first time resolution rate. You don't have to call us or talk to us a second or a third time. We directly provide you with the right answer. And we have our academy. We did a study just recently where, when we looked at the academy, people who went through the whole academy program, which was set up last year, and they successfully finished the academy, they achieved a 104% higher ARR with their customer base than without going through the program. So you can truly double double the amount of revenue you're generating with your existing customers by going through the program. Why? Please remember what I mentioned earlier about the growth in cyber threats. The SMBs are desperately looking for you, the service providers, for answers on how to fix it, how to protect them, because they are overwhelmed by the level of complexity. And they need you to help them. So, to wrap up, I have 3 asks for you. First, learn with our partner Cyber Academy. The CyberFit Academy is clearly worth it. It's good for you, it's good for us, it's good for everyone. Your customers are more protected, you generate more revenue, and we can help you to protect more customers, more workloads. Second, deploy Acronis workloads on every single device in the organizations you're taking care of. This is very, very important. We just recently had several cases where existing partners came to us and a customer got hacked. And what happened is, of the hundreds of devices, they thought these 40 devices are not relevant. So we don't need to protect them. Nothing is going to happen through these devices. Why should I protect the laptop at the reception where people check in, which happens to be connected to the internet, which happens to be in the intranet to actually replicate data? And guess what? That PC got hacked and the hackers got in and were suddenly on all devices. Not on the devices we protected, but on all the other devices. And this is something we see on a regular basis. So in the past, you could neglect many devices. Nowadays, you have to protect every single device, and as soon as it's connected to your internet, because then it is an entry point for others to get into the system. And finally, use our advanced packs to truly enhance the level of protection. Yuri will talk about later in more detail about all the different things you can do with our advanced packs, but they're truly a gem in helping you to provide all the levels of protection which you need in today's world. And I would like to give you 2 examples. One example is a simple forensics tool where we can, when you activate this tool, we track everything which happens. So if someone gets into your network and you later have to go to court and you know all the data, you can really show to the court every single step the hacker did in the other parts and how he did and what was there. And then we can provide the data. Or another example is, not often, but sometimes when you patch your systems don't behave that nicely afterwards. So we have a simple feature where you just activate it and we do a backup before you patch. It sounds simple, it sounds plain vanilla, but it is that simple features which make it really, really compelling to really protect you from all different perspectives. Just yesterday night, the day before yesterday, it happened 2 days ago, one of my sales leaders, she called me and said, Patrick, I can't answer you because my patch just went wrong, but don't worry, I'm back online in 10 minutes. I just play back the backup, which I did before I patched the system. Fastest time to recovery. These are some of the features you can really get through our advanced packs. Back to productivity in hours instead of days. With that, I would like to say thank you to everyone. Thank you for listening online. Thank you for being here in person. And let me now give back to Simone. Thank you.
Wow, I love a good scam story. I think we've all become very hypervigilant. I actually have a good friend that was scammed and it made me not paranoid, but appropriately hypervigilant. So the next time my bank called me, I said to the guy at OCBC, I know you're a scammer. You're not really, from OCBC. And he literally said, ma'am, you can call this hotline to verify this is me. The man sounded like he had given this talk. Every single day I called the hotline, he actually was from my bank. But, these things happen, as we know from the Tinder swindler on Netflix, and we're so glad we have Interpol here who helped us sort that guy off the dating apps. I want to give a big thank you to our last panelists, Patrick, Kevin, and Yuri. Thank you so much. And I believe we have a short little video.